Say we gon' set your day right, yeah. Na, 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 na. We gon' turn it up nice. Na, 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 na. Get ready for the time of your life. We bring the vibes and we bringing it right. We're the Brunch Bunch, doing it right, doing it right. Go we on here and we ready to bring the fire. Turn the radio up. Go we on here with the Brunch Bunch, take it higher. Turn the radio up. Go we on here and we ready.
Expect that harvest. Believers, know that God has you always in his thoughts. Well, y'all know what time it is. It's the Brunch Bunch time, and y'all know y'all listening to the queen of the sauce. That would be me, Charmaine from Uncle Remus Saucy Fried Chicken. And you all know that April is Financial Literacy Month. We kicked it off last Wednesday. We're going to keep the train going, and when you all get to your stop, get on, because the 4 things I keep telling you all, you have to create and follow a budget. Don't be afraid to talk about the money. Pay down your debt and start teaching money management early. Now, we know we talked about that last week about money management early with Rendell, and today is going to be no different. My guest at the bottom of the hour is none other than the city treasurer herself, Melissa Conyears-Ervin, will be here on the phone. But guess what? She on the phone, but y'all know who in the studio with me. My 2 favorite people. Y'all know who it is. That's Marseil Action Jackson. I went to you first.
Woo, what's up, believers? It's your main man, Ada Action Jackson.
Ada Action Jackson. And you all know who else is here. The beautiful, always lovely Tamera Fair.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Tamera Fair, on the air. You know, one of my favorite days is Wednesday, just because I get the chance to see you.
Oh, thank you.
I would like to see you and Chicken, but you are good.
I know. That chicken's
just you
coming.
Is good.
If I can stop running before I get
smell
here.
chicken, is that?
Yeah, you smell me. I was on Big Saucy before I got here. Big Saucy is the food truck. Trying to get her ready, and I had to run out, and I was really trying.
That name, Big
yeah,
Saucy.
Big Saucy is her nickname. I was trying to get it together and surprise you. Oh, Lord.
First of all, every girl that I've ever seen him with been itty bitty.
Itty bitty.
Saucy.
Itty bitty. But yes, believers, we have a great show for you. The energy is already here in this studio, and we're going to transfer it to you today because, as I said, it's Financial Literacy Month, and our guest today, I am so excited. She is so involved in what she wants us to become until she is getting on the call herself. That's a big deal. The city treasurer of the city of Chicago.
Absolutely. But you know
Such
what? She's boots
deal.
on the ground. Like, even when she was a rep, she was boots on the ground.
Yeah, she's a good friend of the Brunch Bunch.
She is. So she will be here. So you all know what I tell y'all. Y'all should know by now what to do. Call your friends and text your frenemies, because they might not, you might be on block for them. But, don't hate on them. Just let them know that it's Brunch Bunch time, and we're going to bring you news that you can use, leave you better than when you came. Because you know what, believers, we love you, and we pour into you. We want to pour out of us and pour into you. Go, Tammy.
Yeah, so, I really wanted to be at the top of the hour, put something on your brains before we... I
don't even know what it is, and I'm bouncing.
There are just certain professions that oops is not an option, right?
Okay.
And so as we unfold day before yesterday's what's going on about another black man who has been killed by law enforcement, and said, it's an accident, that's unacceptable. And so certain professions, like if you're a pilot, oops is not an option. If you're a surgeon, oops is not an option.
Yes.
If you are a police officer, you do not have the option
to
oops so dramatically that it costs another person their life. Black or white, it doesn't matter. But the fact that seems to be an attack on black people is not an option. So when you go about your day in whatever capacity that you're in, understand well, if you are in a no oops zone, don't oops.
Don't oops.
That ain't your option.
I don't know if you all know that since we started, they've charged over second degree.
Yes.
Today, so they did charge her.
Since in the last hour or so, breaking news.
Yes.
So we'll probably talk about that a little bit more. I don't know if, the whole degrees and wasn't a 10 and, 10.
Well, they did say that the body cam showed that she said, taser. You know how when they they get ready to do an action.
But she grabbed it.
But she grabbed the gun. Now, as I said before, a gun has a different weight than a taser, and training is essential.
And they make the handles bigger. I was reading the handles on the taser are made larger for that point to know that it's the taser.
But the over and underarching problem is that what the person did was not even warranted of a taser. So you brought the taser out or you brought the gun out. That means you brought the big guns out for no reason. You could have de-escalated the situation and constrained the victim.
Well, I got my taser in my con. I'm going to just start tasing folks.
Oh, guess what? It's going to come out a little different for you. It ain't going to be the same, bro. You might want to rethink that one.
Yeah, please do rethink that. Well, believers, we know that we are under attack, but we also know that we are also under the protection of God. And we just have to stay covered, stay praying for each other, pray for everybody, men, women, children. None of us are exempt from profiling. And we just pray that the ultimate...
You definitely don't want to stop me.
Oh.
I promise. I'm coughing on you.
Oh.
I'm putting up the I had COVID twice. It ain't been determined if I could get it 3 times. You might want to step back sign.
You're gonna be ready. You got the armor.
Start snotting as soon as them lights come on. They ain't gonna want to talk to me.
Listen, believers, we might be giving y'all some pointers on how to stay alive.
Just start coughing and sneezing. Listen, because if I was an officer, I'd back up off you.
Amen,
yes,
believers.
absolutely.
Well, listen, don't go anywhere. We certainly got so much more to share. And you know what? You're listening to the Brunch Bunch on Inspiration 1390.
So, the Lord continues to bless you in your sleep, in your wake moments, and even when you're not thinking about the fact that He is blessing you. Guess what? You are still being blessed. And I say that because He blessed Marseille over the weekend and all of the people who did not go and get that Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Not only did you not go because they moved the location, but they have also suspended giving out the one-shot hit a quitter.
After the event Saturday.
Yeah, but you didn't get it.
Because the Lord, I can't get nobody to help me.
Yes. Come on. Glory. So apparently the blood clots have been witnessed in about 6 people. Now, if they say 6, it's more like 600.
Oh, Lord.
Because they have actually given out almost 7 million of these JJ vaccines. Yes. And so 6 people have experienced blood clots. 1 person has actually died from the Johnson & Johnson. And so the CDC thought that they would err on the side of caution and suspend administering this particular vaccine. Now, the Moderna and the Pfizer are still being administered. Now, one of two things. Either it is blood clots and they wanted to err on the side of caution, or somebody in Big Pharma didn't pay somebody else off, and so they didn't, I know I can't say that word, but they made somebody mad. And Johnson & Johnson has been put on the shelf for a minute. So they seem to think that these levels, you can see the blood platelets start to coagulate and start these blood clots, and so then if it gets to the heart, it's fatal. And even though, and I don't mean to minimize this because any loss of life is magnanimous to that family and to that person, but when you're talking about one person that has passed away from it, and you can't really determine whether or not it is from the vaccine, they don't look at that, they being the powers that be and the researchers don't look at that as being hard, fast research or hard, fast conclusion that it is the Johnson & Johnson. So, I have said to you all, believers, make sure that you do your research before you go and take anything. That's not just this vaccine. It could be a flu vaccine. It could be sending your children to get vaccinated. Whatever it is, do as much research as there is out there, and then go to sleep and do some more.
Yep.
Because now there's been about 2,000. We've surpassed 2,000 for the first time. 2,000 more coronavirus either possibilities or confirmed cases since mid-February as of today. And so it does kind of make you say, well, if all of these people are getting vaccinated, why are we not seeing a more of a decline in cases? That's something that we need to think about as we move
Because I don't
forward.
think in terms of percentages of the population vaccinated,
Yeah,
it's still low.
It is low.
And so, but the new head of the CDC said that they're on target to meet President Biden's goal for his 100 days because they've been vaccinating, I believe it's 3 million people per day.
Well, there's a new ordinance in the city of Chicago. Mayor Lori Lightfoot wants to prohibit employers from firing or disciplining employees who leave work to get the COVID-19 vaccine. In the proposal, which has moved closer to passage as of yesterday, Chicago businesses would face up to $5,000 in fines for not allowing workers.
Call off. No. What is
Number
that?
one, I don't know why they need to take such a measure.
I don't either.
But then I'm going to say I do know why. Because folks will use that. I mean, you take something good and you just make it bad for the rest of the people. So evidently there has been some misuse of, I'm going to get a vaccination, like for the 12th time, you know, that will make an employer be like, look, hold up, wait a minute. You can't. It's only 2. So
But I'm guessing the
12.
measure is because some employers have not allowed their employees to miss to get the vaccine.
Listen, you are off work. You don't have to go on my time to get this vaccine.
But what if the
it's
appointment
readily
is
available.
only available
Come on
during,
now. Not now. Not in these times.
Well,
maybe in the past when there wasn't readily available.
9 o'clock, you can get them until 9.
Now, but watch this. Okay, and I just got to get this example. Saturday, our event was only from 8 to 12, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. So if they wanted to one hit a quitter, they had to go between 8 and 12. And if they were scheduled to work the morning shift with you, and this is the only day they can go.
11. They'll be all right. Listen to me. Listen, I understand. I don't know why they need to have an ordinance, but I understand people are very abusive of the liberties that are given to them.
Well, you know, a policy is always the result of a problem. Typically, you don't craft a policy until you're addressing a problem in hindsight. So, I am encouraging all of you who are authentically going to get the vaccine. Do not abuse this like we did the unemployment. Literally, we talked about the unemployment scams that are going on. These protections were put in place so that we could bridge the gap between this pandemic and the stop of the pandemic. Do not, I repeat, do not abuse it. If you're going to get it and that's the only time that you have, then go. But then if you feel like you can come back to work, come back to work. If not, come back the next day. A lot of these vaccines are knocking people out on this second dose, though. So
And
have a conversation with your employer and let them know this is my
So take
second
it on Friday
shot.
so you can be at work on Monday. I'm just kidding.
Well, if you proper plan,
Yes.
then you'll know, okay, let me get the vaccine on a Friday. So if I get sick, I have 2 days off
Yes.
to kind of. But then if you cannot
You're crazy.
get an appointment,
Open up that dialogue.
and then it's like, this is the only slot we got available for you to go at Rush to get the Pfizer shot. Then, because I was trying to get the Rush appointment, and my first lady was going to help me, but after this Johnson & Johnson debacle,
Y'all better go
I
get
decided I'm going to hold. Well, here's the thing. It just came out, which, they didn't tell people this. You have to get vaccinated every 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll talk about that in the next segment.
That's not a vaccine.
That's
I don't care.
That's a cash cow. I'm in
That
the wrong
is
business.
absolutely not what you call a vaccine, but I don't know what you call that. You got to get a shot every 6 months.
well, it's only
That's
the
chronic.
effectiveness of it maybe is 6 months. But again, why
I'ma
don't you
say-
do that in the raw and research that, because you are the research queen.
I'm going to say this. D3, vitamin C, all of the supplements.
Whiskey.
No. No, I didn't say that. Believers, you do what you want with the whiskey. That's not a Tamera recommendation. But those supplements that we have been recommending since
They do work.
last
Absolutely.
December has been keeping people out of the hospitals, off the ventilators, and definitely out of the morgues. Continue to do those things, guys, and really research your vaccine.
Well, do that. Well, thank you. That in the raw was definitely raw. You're listening to the Brunch Bunch on Inspiration 1390.
What in the Caucasity? It's titled Dante and the Debt Collectors, How the Cops Became Robbers. So Tamera mentioned it, but if you don't know, on Sunday, April 11, 20-year-old Dante Wright was driving with his girlfriend in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, when an armed posse under the color and authority of the law recognized the fact that he hadn't paid for a sticker on his license plate. After stopping right for not having the decal that permitted him to drive down their streets, the weapon-wielding money extraction team discovered that Wright also owed $128 for a victimless crime in 2019 and another $188 for a 2020 victimless crime that caused no harm to a single soul. But because the gun toters had sworn an oath to imprison anyone who owed money for not paying money, the officers attempted to place him in chains until he paid more money. Now, less than a year earlier, a similar gang killed a man over $20 after placing him in the same kinds of chains. Now, this happened 10 miles from where Daunte Wright was being handcuffed, according to Minneapolis police data. Black drivers like Daunte are 5 times more likely to be stopped for moving violations or vehicle equipment infractions, a crime that can only be solved by paying money to the Poverty Enforcement Street Team, a.k.a. the police. Now, Daunte, clearly not wanting to die, jumped back in the car. Now, during an ensuing struggle, Kim Potter, one of the debt collectors, a.k.a. police, pulled out a device she carries that is specifically designed to kill people. Potter, who was professionally trained to use the instrument of death, didn't need it. She also carried a substance that poisoned a person's skin and another device that can send enough voltage through a person's body to power 400 refrigerators. Although she had the option of poisoning or electrocuting Wright for owing money because he owed money when they stopped him for owing money, Potter used the machine meant to kill people. And unfortunately, it worked. Potter would later claim that she only meant to electrocute Wright with the machine that can power 400 refrigerators because he owed money. And I wanted to really paint a picture.
You did.
That was really good.
Because
that was really good.
This young man lost his life.
Over $316.
I saw you doing the math, and I'm like, a little bit over $300 because these cops essentially became debt collectors. He wasn't putting anybody in harm. He hadn't hurt anybody. He hadn't physically abused. He owed some money and didn't have a sticker on his. It was an outdated sticker, and now he's deceased.
That is, I guess I didn't really get into the weeds of it like that, but I understand now why all the color went out of your face when you were reporting this initially, because it just got me so filled with emotion right now. Because $316, I mean, you pay that in parking tickets to the city of Chicago, and one of them. One. And literally, you should not lose your life for owing stickers. Miss Potter, you got to be put on notice. Like literally. And all the Miss Potters that are coming behind you got to be put on notice. It is not okay. This is not okay.
Because then she goes on to claim that she only meant to electrocute him while she drove him to the gang's headquarters and lock him in a cage until he dished out a week's pay for the victimless crime. Now, Potter's superiors confirmed that she didn't mean to use the killing machine.
Who has since resigned.
No, but watch this. According to them, it was just an accident that anyone could make who had 26 years of experience of using the deadliest weapons every day. 26 years. I even heard today, I was listening while I'm moving to the news, she was once the president of the police union.
Well, maybe that's why Minnesota is burning.
Minnesota has a lot of problems.
Yes. No, America has a lot of problems, but Minnesota, right now, the spotlight is on Minnesota because of the George Floyd massacre. I mean, literally, that's a massacre.
This is literally stepping stones away from George Floyd. Now, Dante Wright's story is an outlier. Every day, the people who are paid to protect us from crime engage in the practice of debt collection. Furthermore, the majority of this money extraction scheme falls on the backs of black and brown Americans. While it is impossible to prove how many cops are racist, it is quite simple to prove that the system of policing results in the disproportionate deaths and brutality inflicted upon black bodies.
Something to think about, though. Really?
I mean, we hear these stories, and you asked the question the other day. I wonder what they pulled him over for. Of course, they hadn't really went into it, but the more I was researching and the stories are unfolding, when I found out he went to jail for not jail.
He died.
He lost his life for $314. 16.
Get the money right.
$316. 20-year-old black man.
And George Floyd.
Over 20.
Over 20.
Well, over zero.
Zero.
Because it was supposed, allegedly, I guess, well, not alleged, it was a counterfeit 20. So
did they ever confirm if it was counterfeit or not? Because I think we've not even gone there. Like, we haven't even go back.
I believe they confirmed it.
It was counterfeit?
It was counterfeit.
Okay.
Now, one of my
Unless it was a counterfeit $1 million and you gave somebody some...
$20. Why are you calling the police over $20?
And the guy who called cried and was sad that happened because he said if he had known.
Because you know how many counterfeits I get? I give it back. Go try somewhere else. Baby.
Go just keep it. But you know what?
Keep it. You're supposed to not give it back, but it's just not worth that because I don't want anybody come shooting us up for a $20 counterfeit. You can have it. God bless your ministry. Keep it going.
Look at it. People owe me money, give me cash. I put it right in the air. Just go. But
there's a counterfeit pen that can detect it.
Determine and detect it.
Well, I don't. Yeah.
But sometimes you don't take it. The responsibility of the cashier, they don't take it. Sometimes I get the man. Sometimes we do recognize it. But my point is, when you recognize it, I tell them to give it back to that person because they want it. They want it back because they want to try somewhere else. Don't call. I don't any of that.
But I did just want to point out, Ingrid Gavin from Congressman Rush's office put a great post up, and I reshared it. As African Americans, we are constantly fighting disparities, but wondering if we're going to make it back from the store or the gas station shouldn't be one of them.
That is profound.
And that is the truth. So we are praying for the Wright family. His mother and father did a news conference. They interviewed them, and they were distraught. And you know what? Is
that one lawyer that's running around everybody?
Ben Crump is representing the family.
Anyway, a whole nother conversation.
But no, look, I do want to just point this out. I was watching in my mind. This young man's mother, I believe, from the interview, is white.
Yes.
His father is black. Mm-hmm. But you can't even be half white and get a pass in this world.
Half white, get a pass.
Because if you got one drop, you dropped.
Well, he is dropped.
Yeah. Well, this is yet another heinous situation that we have to deal with. But how long is too long, and when is enough? I will say that enough is enough now.
Now. And believers, we know that we are continually keeping you prayed over, prayed up, prayed upon, P-R-A-Y-E-D, not P-R-E-Y, like they do. Prayed upon with the goodness of the Lord. And we hope and pray that this next song will bless you because we know this week is your week for miracles and blessings. Today's OPB is really for me. This inspired me. This black-owned hair care brand just raised $100 million in funding.
Woo!
Oh, people don't know where I am in my vision, so this is why it's giving me hope. Founded in 2014, Marseil Organics, the #1 fast-growing, black-owned, and community-focused natural hair company, has secured a $100 million investment from Berkshire Partners, a Boston-based firm. And that in and of itself is like a big deal. A portion of Berkshire investment will be used to support Marseil's More Than a Strand program, which is the core of the company's mission to strengthen the bond between mothers, daughters, and young girls across the United States, Caribbean, and Africa. Company co-founder Monique and Melvin Rodriguez, CEO and COO respectively, will continue to be the majority owners and maintain control of the company. Let me say that again. $100 million investment for one of the largest investment venture capitalist firms, but they are still majority owners. Oh my gosh, y'all don't understand why I'm excited.
It says Rodriguez, but it's important to note that both of them are black.
I know, because you know them. So they said we are excited about this historic partnership with Berkshire Partners. And they go on to say that we started this business in our garage, sparked by Monique's passion to build a worldwide community for women. And during the past 7 years, they've been able to expand their product lines to increase their distribution and invest in the community. And they're excited to continue innovating and developing new products for awareness of MyL and reach even more consumers to give them the products that they deserve. So big OPB, which is other people's business, soon to be mine, because I'm going to give me $100 million
Listen,
as well.
I'm so proud.
Her and her husband are killing the game. They're very humble people.
Beautiful family.
Beautiful family. Every time I go in Target.
Their products work. I love them.
Every time I go in Target and see her face and her products, I'm just so excited.
Yes.
Target in Oak Park, it's like, wow, this woman is... But every Target, she's just blowing up. She's amazing.
It's so amazing.
And
so
every
amazing
salon is starting to carry her products.
Absolutely.
And she is the nicest, most beautiful spirited. I mean, inside and out. She's beautiful aesthetically, of course. And she got the most beautiful head of hair because she's not only is she the president, but she's a customer.
And I believe her profession by trade, she's a nurse.
I know their husband was an engineer.
And I believe she was an RN, and she just wanted a product for her hair that would work.
Jobs.
Her hair
and now she got huge warehouse and manufacturing facility. It's so dope.
Listen.
And you can see her on Instagram actually packaging up the orders and stuff. And you know who does her makeup too?
Who? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
The makeup guru,
My mind.
Jerlicia, yes. And so when you see something like that, you see so many positives. You see black excellence, black families, black cohesiveness, and you also see a pathway that they have carved for you believers.
Absolutely, because all we needed was one to get in. And if they're going to take us, I'm going to knock on their door.
Reverend Evans' tagline was, "It is no secret what God can do. What God's done for others, He can do the same for you."
So keep believing, believers. Keep hope alive. And our next guest is actually going to talk about her Hope Project to keep us financially literate so we can get that $100 million. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. We got so much more to share. So as I've been saying, April is Financial Literacy Month. And at the top of the hour, I told you who our guest would be. And we were all excited because we know that our guest is boots to the ground, as Tamera said earlier. And, you know, the city treasurer, we usually don't understand what that means because it's usually other people's money, other people's big money. But our city treasurer is so concerned and so compassionate and passionate about our money, the people in the hood, until I know she managed the big money, but she's concerned about how we manage our money. And she is our guest. Every night. And she is our guest. City treasurer, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, first of all, we're great. First of all, I'm going to echo it. I know we all admire, adore, love you because of who you are and what you're doing.
Yes.
And what you're doing is so important. I didn't read a resume. You don't need that because you walk who you are. And this program with Operation Hope so fits into the Financial Literacy Month until let's just have at it. Talk to us about that.
Yes, and so first of all, when I knew that I was coming on today, I had been looking at your page talking about April being Financial Literacy Month. So let me just tell you, I got excited from there because we really don't, as a community. Let's be honest, we do not talk enough about financial literacy. Obviously, for our community, we talk a lot about criminal justice reform. We talk a lot about health disparities. But let's talk about economic disparities. And that's something that we really need to keep at the forefront. So I thank you all for bringing that to the forefront. And so within April being Financial Literacy Month, this week is a special week within April because it's Money Smart Week. And so I wanted to just have a jam-packed schedule which we are in the Treasurer's Office, but a jam-packed schedule to be able to provide resources to residents every single day during the lunch hour to talk about ways to be smart with our money. See, there's a lot of things people don't tell us. We try to figure it out on our own, but I don't want us to have to do that. Let's talk to residents about things that they may not know. There really shouldn't even be a secret.
Mm-hmm.
No, it shouldn't be. So, with this week being insulated within the whole month of Money Smart Week, what is it that because you said at lunchtime, I know that there are workshops, seminars. So, what are the steps of this Operation Hope in teaching the financial literacy and credit? And it's not only for individuals, it's for small businesses as well, correct?
That's right. We focus a lot on small businesses because, as you know, being one of the small business owners yourself, and I know Tamera is on the line, and Marseille, Tamera, you all know also as well. You all three of you are small business owners.
Yes.
And you certainly know that our small businesses are the backbone of our communities at the end of the day, and so we want to make sure that they are doing well. And so this week, today we were talking about Operation Hope and helping with fraud and identity theft. We started the week talking about the power of banking. I was telling someone I don't think I've seen so many instances where we've had the head of these banking institutions come on the line so that residents can actually see them firsthand and listen to their commitments. And then yesterday we spoke about education for our young people. Hey, I was a first-generation college student, and my mother wanted the best for me, but quite honestly, she really didn't know how to advise me on my financial education. Mm-hmm. And so I had to try to figure a lot of things out. And so we want to help be a resource for parents. And then tomorrow, Thursday, one of the features for this week, we're going to go outside for lunch hour and do an evening fireside chat with John Rogers of
Oh, wow.
What a success story. And then Friday, we're going to talk about rentals and mortgage assistance. So that's for everyone. Either you rent or you own. We're going to talk about some assistance for you. And Saturday, we're closing out with the Financial Technology Summit. There is so much money in financial technology. A lot of young people are tapping into it. A lot of opportunities for small business owners to tap into it. So all of these events are free and virtual. So no excuse whatsoever. Free and virtual. So they can sign up on our website at ChicagoCityTreasurer.com/Money Smart Week. Or, on social media, they could sign up Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Chicago Treasurers, Melissa Conyears-Ervin.
That is amazing. First of all, congratulations on taking all of your expertise to the city level where you can really impact people on a microcosm basis if you're talking about comparing it to the state where you were. You're continuously doing amazing work in the community. And I was noticing that the NOF, that grant is due to Friday, April the 16th, and that the Chicago Alfresco for nonprofits in the Chamber of Commerce is due on April 15th. And you were talking about all of these different grants and all of these different money opportunities. And I just wanted to zone in on how people could not just get on the website for Operation Hope, but also zone in on some of the other city resources that are given out, like tons and tons of money that people can just tap into.
We were talking yesterday, and we were doing the education summit. And by the way, what I like most about this week is that we have events every day for all ages. So, whether you're a young person as far as in school, whether you're a parent, whether you're a small business owner, whether you're a senior, we have something for everyone. But I really want people to know that what you just said, there is money available. And especially if you rent or own a home, we're going to talk about that on Friday. We are bringing people in from all levels talking about that. A lot of people saw money available when the pandemic began, which was in 2020, right? But people kind of, besides the federal stimulus and the besides the, PPP, there is other funding available. And so we're going to talk about that on Friday. Again, please make sure you sign up, all free, all virtual, either through our website or social media handles.
So that's fantastic. And if I want to go back to the Hope or all of this week, is that where they can also will they be able to sign up for like the coaching sessions? Because I know that part of this program, you can get the coaching sessions, and they say they're going to help you access this 700 Club. You know what the 700 Club is, right?
Yeah,
the credit
score. Come on.
So that's all part of what the city treasurer's office has partnered with to help the residents in the community. Because piggybacking on what Tamera said, some things are open to you, but then some things you still need that credit worthiness to access. Mm-hmm. Am I correct?
Oh, you are absolutely correct. And so I like the way both you and Tamera keep going back to Operation Hope. So let me back up a little bit. Because the Chicago Treasurer's Office, I partnered with Hope Inside, with Operation Hope, for this initiative. Hope Inside is all the same. Operation Hope, Hope Inside. Before Money Smart Week even started, I started this the end of last year. This was a free resource. It's all year long, by the way. Even outside of Money Smart Week, let's just talk about this Hope Inside. It's a financial empowerment counseling that I am.
City Treasurer,
like,
did we lose you?
Hello? We lost you? She'll call back.
But you know what? I'm glad that she is bringing, because as I'm listening to her, so many times we don't do better because we don't know any better.
Right.
And we don't know about these resources. So while we're waiting for her to call back, I do want to give you guys some resources. As I said, the NOF grant has been extended. The deadline is now Friday, April 16th. The City of Chicago... the Comcast grant Time to Rise, the deadline is May 7th. Veterans to Residents, that deadline is April the 15th. So if you are a veteran and you are looking for any type of funding for your residents, you can go to Bunker Labs, just like Archie Bunker, bunkerbs.org/veterans-n-residents. If you don't have a pen and paper already, you might want to get one right now, because I'm going to spit these out for you, and then we're going to post them on the Brunch Bunch Facebook page. Black Women-Owned Business in Chicago, She's Next grant program. The deadline is April 16th. If you want to tap into that funding, go to ty.perform. That's ifundwomen.typerform.com. And that is also due April the 16th. Inspiring Women in Business. That deadline is May the 9th, 2021. And you can go to inspirewomenbiz.com. Inspirewomenbiz with a Z.com.
And all of those will be posted. Tammy, you're going to give me that. You're going to forward me that email. You ain't going to give me that. Forward that email. And we'll post it to our Facebook page and online. Charmaine, this was a great guest. I hate we lost the city treasurer, but one thing I've learned, I didn't know anything about. Most of us don't even know what our city treasurer do. Half of the people listening didn't even know the city treasurer name, probably.
That's true. But the reason why she is so important during these times is because she's making it known what they do, because they've always managed the big money, the pension funds, and the 700 millions and the billions of dollars. But she is so concerned until, as she said, she developed this program. She went out and developed, and she hasn't called back. I know she had a tight schedule. Don't know what happened, but we got the listen. You can go to that website. It's ChicagoCityTreasurer.com. Not only does they have that, you can schedule free individualized financial coaching. And all of these resources are from people who know that they partner with the city, and this is pro bono. And like you said, and like I said last week, when we know better, we can do better. There is disparity, financial disparity, but we don't have to stay there. We can knock the door down and say we know better, so you know what? you can't discriminate against me because I've put all the ducks in the row.
Well, I always say if you want change, you need power.
Yes.
And if you want power, you need money. And so
And
if you want to be
money,
empowered and get some money,
and
Going back to Tamera, she got some more grants.
If you want money, holla at your girl. No, if you want money, the PPP has been extended. The due date is May the 31st, and we encourage you to apply before the deadline. The IDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, is due by December. Yes, December 31st, 2020.
Will they give you some more money?
Yes, they've lifted it to
They are giving out more money.
500,000.
So you can reapply?
You
Yes.
can reapply for the gap.
Check your email, Charmaine. Check your email.
I will be checking it right
I
after
gotta
the
look
show.
into it now. I don't know
I'm
the
going to have to talk with you offline. You need to learn the
Because I've been so
specifics.
busy, but they did email me and say, hey,
she's back.
if it wasn't enough money, we got more for you. But speaking of more money, we got more of the city treasurer.
City Treasurer, you're back? You're back. You're back.
Okay, but in the meantime, the Shuttered Venue Operations Grant is now open.
It's okay. Listen, we filled in the gap. We talked about, this building wealth for tomorrow. This Operation Hope gives me happy and hope.
Gives me hope.
Give me hope. So we talked about how they could schedule individual financial coaching. But you go ahead on because you developed this. And then, I don't know why you were gone. We continue to just echo how wonderful you are because Marcel was saying most people don't know what a treasurer is. And I'm like, yeah, because all they managed was big people money. And here our city treasurer is compassionate and passionate about helping us manage the little money so we can get to the big money. So that's kind of what you missed while you was talking.
Thank you. But you know what I always say? See, when you elect people that are like you, I cannot express this enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you elect people that are like you, people that understand you, people that know your struggles, people that have experienced your struggles, it just makes a difference.
Yes.
I mean, I'm born in Inglewood, raised on the west side. And you all know I live on the west side now. By choice.
Yes.
And so it makes a difference. I mean, it just makes a difference. So I don't have to read in the newspaper, look on the news, on TV to know what's going on in underserved communities. I live here.
Yes.
And so that makes a difference. And so I cannot express that enough. So I appreciate it. But my mother wouldn't have me do. I have to help because I know the struggle. My mother struggled so much with us. Like I told you, she wanted the best for us. But she just didn't know and didn't have the resources. And I don't want families to be like that. And I believe that we all should be able to have generational wealth. I cannot stress that enough. Why can't we have 700+ credit scores? Why can't we leave a legacy with our children and children's children? And so I am going to do all that I can as city treasurer to help our working families. And by the way, I want to say this. I cannot tell you how many young people that I meet on the south and west sides of Chicago that have no knowledge of the financial services industry. No knowledge.
None at all.
Do you know how much money is in this industry? I tell them, I want to make sure you hear me, $69 trillion in the financial services industry nationwide. Trillion.
With a T.
And so, with a T. And so the young people look at me and I say, you're chasing this little money out here? Oh, that's nothing. The real money is in Wall Street. Do you hear me?
Yes.
The real
You better talk about it, Madam City Treasurer.
I mean, come on now. This ain't nothing what's out here. I mean, the real money is in the financial services industry. And so their eyes are, but guess what? Marcel, Tamera, Charmaine, if we don't tell them that,
That's right.
They won't know.
You told me something. I'm changing lanes.
I'm saying that's why we said also when you know better, you can do better. Go ahead, Marcel.
Madam City Treasurer, we thank you for coming and joining us on the Brunch Bunch on Chit Chat Wednesday. We're going to make sure we share this information with our networks. And we got to have you back to keep encouraging and inspiring our believers.
Yes. Anytime there's something about financial literacy, just give one of us a call, and we are always going to answer you. Well, thank you, believers. We have had a great show. This has been Financial Literacy Month, and we promised you that you were going to leave better than when you came. And y'all, we got to go, but I don't want to go without letting y'all know how much I love y'all. As Tamera say, lead with love and you would land on love. I love y'all.
I love you too. Shout out to Choo Choo who tuned in. I had to give a shout out.
Believers, we love you. Up next is AC Green, and then it is Inspiration 1390 until you go
All
sleep.
night long.
Can't sleep, as always.